Elon Musk, we all know him for
Back in '95, there weren't very many people on the internet.
his main three companies is Tesla, SpaceX, and then lately Twitter. He has a laundry list at this point of, let's just say, being overly optimistic.
There are 62 McLarens in the world, and I will own one of them.
So I just have one question. Is Elon Musk the greatest con man we've ever seen?
And I decided to start the company. I had no money. My values may have changed, but I'm not consciously aware of my values having changed.
First off, let's talk about Tesla and autonomous driving. All right, he promised back in 2019, he said by 2020, there would be 1 million robotaxis. Not only did he say that there'd be 1 million robotaxis, but he also said that these would be generating income for their owners while they slept. What an amazing vision. The reality is there are 0 autonomous Tesla robotaxis.
I was working, doing research in Silicon Valley on a completely different subject.
Keeping with Tesla, he promised back in 2017 that the new Roadster 2.0 would arrive in 2020. Now that was 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, and he said that it would be featuring an optional SpaceX rocket thrusters. The reality is that the vehicle kept getting delayed every year, and it still hasn't entered production. He's getting interest-free loans from his followers.
So this is an ATM.
In the form of $50,000 reservations on this car that keeps not appearing. Amazing.
It allows consumers to choose what they want to see, when they want to see it.
Remember back when he was doing the whole solar panel thing a whole lot more? Not just put solar panels on your roof. That's boring for smooth brains. No. He wanted to replace your roof with /roof tile solar panels. There would be 1,000 solar roof installations per week. He made that promise back in 2020. The reality is that Tesla was averaging only 21 installations per week in 2022.
So we found that
in 2022, Tesla promised that it would be producing 50,000 semis in 2024. By early 2024, Tesla had built fewer than 150 trucks total. Let's talk about SpaceX and all of his wild promises. First off, in 2016, Musk said that the first human Mars missions would be in 2024. Missed it a little bit, but as of late this year, the Starship rocket, which is essential for this mission, has yet to land on Mars or carry humans to orbit.
Do you want to do that again?
He also promised, I think everybody forgets about this one. Remember back when he was talking about his Earth-to-Earth rocket travel? In 2017, Musk claimed that Starship would be flying passengers anywhere on Earth in under an hour for the average price of an economy airline ticket. So far, 0 commercial flights or tests for this use case have occurred.
The only thing I would sort of argue with is that I don't think we should be going back to the moon. I think we should be focused on Mars.
Next, let's talk about his infrastructure and his genius brain when it comes to travel and tunnels.
And I come before you good people tonight with an idea. Probably the greatest... Oh, it's not for you.
No, we're talking about a Hyperloop. Totally different thing. Revolutionary. You'll never see anything like it. So he promised back in 2017 that the New York to DC Hyperloop would take 29 minutes.
There's nothing on Earth like a genuine, bona fide, electrified 6-car monorail.
He tweeted at that time that he'd gotten government approval for a Hyperloop connecting New York, Philly, Baltimore, and DC. The reality is that the project was abandoned. The Boring Company then pivoted from their abandoned failure of a Hyperloop to just drilling tunnels.
What are you doing? Digging. Why? Make a hole. A hole for what? More digging.
He promised that they would have 150 mile per hour autonomous electric sleds transporting everybody around. The reality is that the Las Vegas Loop operates with human drivers only, driving standard Teslas through a small, janky tunnel at 30 to 40 miles per hour.
Yes, with the cars.
With the car, sure is.
The cars.
Sure is
Let's
fun.
be honest.
Surprise, surprise, another one didn't quite work out. Let's move on to Twitter, or X as he renamed it.
I think X.com could absolutely be a multi-billion-dollar bonanza.
So first off, when he took over Twitter, he said that he would be a free speech absolutionist. He promised that all legal speech would remain on the platform.
There you see it, the world's richest man slapping his right hand to his chest and extending his arm outward.
So first off, let's talk about his bowing to government censorship. Under Musk, X has actually become more obedient to government censorship than it was under previous leadership. Before Musk, Twitter complied with government takedown requests 50% of the time. Under Musk, compliance surged to 80%.
You know, George Bush has his pluses and minuses.
He notably censored content in Turkey and India, blocking BBC documentaries critical of PM Modi and silencing opposition parties during elections, simply because the government asked him to.
There are a lot of negative things in the world. There's a lot of terrible things that are happening all over the world.
Personal censorship, on the other hand, he promised not to ban the accounts, such as those tracking his private jet. As a commitment to free speech, what a hero. In 2022, however, he banned the jet tracker.
I still think what he's doing is great. And by the way, I bought a ticket on his effort.
You did?
Yeah. So I still think it's great.
And then when journalists from CNN, the New York Times, and the Washington Post reported on this ban, he suspended them too. He also briefly banned links to competitors like Mastodon and Substack, labeling them unsafe. He says that he bought Twitter to create a politically neutral digital town square where the algorithm would not favor any specific ideology. The reality, in February 2023, when President Biden's Super Bowl tweet got more engagement than Musk's, Musk allegedly threatened to fire engineers unless they, quote, fixed it.
They should not do this. It's very painful.
Painful in what sense?
It hurts my brain and my heart.
The result was a code change that artificially boosted Musk's posts by a factor of 1,000, forcing his tweets into the feeds of millions of people who didn't follow him. I'm sure anybody on Twitter at the time experienced that, where we were just seeing everything that Musk was posting.
I was very sad to see that.
He also decreed that the words cis and cisgender were suddenly slurs on his platform, subjecting users who use these medical, scientific terms to shadow bans or suspensions, while allowing actual racial slurs to proliferate under the guise of free speech.
Thank you, Elon.
You're welcome.
So let's talk about Musk's personal AI chatbot, or as I like to call it, his Goonerbot, because he's been using it to post a lot of waifu porn lately. Congratulations on your Goonerbot when it's not pretending to be Mecha Hitler.
Because those guys are, those guys are heroes of mine, so it's really tough.
Musk marketed Grok as the, quote, anti-woke, maximum truth-seeking alternative to ChatGPT. He claimed other AIs were lying because of political correctness. The reality is much different. In August 2024, 5 secretaries of state sent an emergency letter to Musk because Grok was spreading false information about ballot deadlines, telling voters in 9 states they had missed the deadline when they hadn't.
At any given point, somebody's taking somebody's toy.
He also promised that he would defeat the spam bots or die trying. When he acquired Twitter in 2022, Musk pledged that his top priority was to eliminate spam bots. He later claimed that 90% of the comments were bots, and he would fix it, of course. The reality is independent analysis and user experience in 2024 and 2025 suggests that the bot problem has worsened. During the 2024 Super Bowl, studies found over 75% of traffic on X was from fake accounts in certain clusters. We've also seen lately when he showed the location of all the people tweeting that his platform is being used to push a lot of propaganda from people outside of America. So you're getting conservative accounts tweeting from Africa and all this other stuff happening. So at this point, anybody on his propaganda website is getting the brain cooked.
In another video taken that night, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt stops by to chat, but Elon ignores her, captivated by his spoons.
What does all this mean? He can do whatever he wants with his companies. He can have his propaganda platforms. He can lie about every single thing that he's doing. But what does it mean for money? What's the valuation of these companies? And now here's where I have the biggest problem. He can be a hype man. He can talk up all he wants about his promises of going to the moon and building 1 million robots and having a robot army and whatever else he wants to do. The problem is when the market values these things and buys into the hype, or some may say scammy behavior, well, a lot of people are going to get hurt when it comes down because they're investing in a man who, for whatever reason, he's very good at removing people from the reality with his words. So he's able to promise the stars and the moon, literally, but when push comes to shove, the financial reality is a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, SpaceX is alive by the skin of its teeth, so is Tesla. If things had just gone a little bit the other way, both companies would be dead.
But first off, let's talk about Tesla. Now Tesla, people have this picture that Tesla is a very large car company. It's not. It's a medium-sized car company. They have a value of $1.64 trillion as of December 2025. The reality is in 2024, their net income was $7.1 billion, down 52% from the previous year. So maybe you don't understand what those numbers mean. Basically, it means Tesla's trading at a price-to-earning ratio of over 317. For comparison, Toyota, a much bigger car company, is trading at a price-to-earnings ratio of 9.
One of the biggest values that Tesla can provide is serving as an example to the rest of the auto industry.
Tesla is valued as a hyper-growth tech monopoly, despite having automotive margins that have shrunk to industry averages and sales volumes that have plateaued or are decreasing. Investors are paying for a robo-taxi future and now a robotic army future that just never seems to materialize. So that's Tesla, his big boy that's making him so rich.
The interest in Tesla is not from the perspective of, the world needs another car company.
Again, some may call him a con man for turning such a medium-sized car company into such extreme values. Well, let's talk about SpaceX. His space company, obviously that must be a lot, especially with a lot of chatter right now that is going to go public at a valuation of 700 to 800 billion.
Receiving cash is cash. I mean, those are just a large number of Ben Franklins.
The reality, profit-wise, Starlink is reportedly profitable, but margins are slim, with about $72 million net profit reported in 2024. That's minuscule. SpaceX trades at a price-to-sales ratio of 53x. Traditional aerospace and defense companies trade at a 1x to 2x sales. This valuation assumes SpaceX will effectively become the entire global communications and space logistics market. It is priced for total monopoly dominance, not current cash flow.
I'd like to be on the cover of Rolling Stone. That'd be cool.
I mean, what you've got going on with the internet is it's basically like an earthquake where the epicenter is Silicon Valley.
Let's talk about X, or Twitter. Let's talk about Twitter. The valuation for Twitter is 9 to 14 billion. Musk purchased this for 44 billion. Revenues estimated from 2024 to 2025 for Twitter is 2.5 to 2.9 billion, down from 4.4 billion pre-acquisition. Profit is likely negative. While Musk insists the company is worth 44 billion or more, financial institutions have written down the value by nearly 80%. Basically, it's his personal propaganda network. currently?
It was just the nastiest place you can imagine.
And you lived in it too.
And I lived in it too.
Well, let's talk about his revolutionary AI that's going to take over, I guess. XAI. The valuation for XAI is $200 billion as of September 2025. The realities, the profit loss is projected to be a $13 billion loss in 2025. XAI is trading at a staggering 400x revenue. Their competitor, OpenAI, maybe you've heard of them, ChatGPT, is valued at $157 billion, approximately 12x revenue. So they are valuing XAI at over 33 times more than the valuation of ChatGPT, which everybody uses and everybody knows. Amazing. So they're burning cash at this point, and they're burning, they're saying over $1 billion per month with no actual commercial viability.
It's fair to say you've made a fortune.
Yeah, I think so, by any reasonable standard, yeah.
Well, that's XAI, his pet project where it glazes him all the time and tells everybody how great Elon Musk is when it's not pushing extremist propaganda. Some may call this man the greatest con man that history has ever seen.
And I decided to start the company. I had no money.
Okay, let's talk about one of his other promises. Outside of his companies, now, Elon Musk seems like a great guy. He's got a great reputation in some circles. Now, in 2021, Musk tweeted that if the UN World Food Program could describe how $6 billion would solve world hunger, he said he would, quote, sell Tesla stock right now and do it. What a great man. What a great rich man. The reality is that the WFP produced a detailed plan days later. Musk did sell $5.7 billion in Tesla stock shortly after, and he didn't give it to the WFP. Instead, he donated it to his own charitable foundation, the Musk Foundation, where it sat largely unspent for tax benefits rather than being deployed to end hunger as implied. So he uses his Musk Foundation to do things like build a bar outside of his Tesla manufacturing.
The question is, first, can you tell us the reason why you were here?
Well, since we're on the subject of his, let's say, creative truth-telling that don't quite work out, let's talk about his involvement in politics and government. In 2024, Musk promised that he would cut $2 trillion from the federal budget. Holy moly, nearly 30% of all U.S. spending. What a great man. He claimed this would save America from bankruptcy. The reality, as of late 2025, now that the organization Doge has largely dissolved, instead of cutting $2 trillion, reports showed that he's cut less than $160 billion, approximately 8% of the goal. Ironically, total government spending increased by over $200 billion during this period due to severance payouts and rehiring costs for wrongly terminated essential workers. So not only did he not save any money, we had to spend another $40 billion. The quote, efficiency drive resulted in the chaotic firing of thousands of federal workers, the dismantling of critical aid programs like USAID, which experts allege led to preventable deaths abroad. So the richest man is killing the poorest people on the planet, and a massive backlog in veteran and social security services. So he's denying the poorest people in this country services and help.
So,
that was something.
I am become meme.
Beyond Doge, the government fiasco, he also has Doge the coin, because he's such a big fan of cryptocurrency. Musk claimed his involvement in politics was purely to, quote, fix the country. He denied any links between government departments, Doge, and the cryptocurrency Doge, just a coincidence. In fact, the department's website briefly featured the Shiba Inu mascot of the cryptocurrency. Every time he posted about the government department, the cryptocurrency spiked up. Now, investors filed class action lawsuits accusing him of insider trading, alleging he pumped the coin by over 36,000% over 2 years using his public platform and government proximity, only to let it crash while he allegedly sold off holdings.
No. Me neither. But it's cool. This is awesome.
He claims he just likes the dog, but the financial correlation suggests a coordinated pump and dump scheme. Some people might call this man the greatest con man history has ever seen.
It's like nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like legalized comedy. Yeah.
He's also, surprise, surprise, against all government subsidies. Musk frequently tweets that the government should stop giving money to corporations, claiming Tesla and SpaceX don't need it. The reality is he's built his empire on the government teat. In 2024, despite Tesla reporting $2.3 billion in US income, he paid $0 in federal tax. Now, how did he do this? Well, Tesla has generated billions in pure profit, not by selling cars, but by selling regulatory credits, which the government mandates to other automakers. Without these government-enforced payments, Tesla would have been unprofitable for much of its history. While he rails against government spending, SpaceX valuation relies almost entirely on being a government monopoly for NASA and the Pentagon, receiving billions in non-competitive contracts.
Yeah.
It's ambitious.
Well, like I said, we don't expect to do it single-handedly, but we certainly would like to help make it happen.
He can say whatever he wants about subsidies, but then he's building his entire business on the backs of them. But it goes beyond that. Not only is he a horrible person in the business world, he's also a horrible person in his personal life. He has, 13 children? More? Who knows at this point? So he's abandoned his daughter, who came out as trans. Of course, she's a right-wing shitbag. Who'd be surprised by that? Nobody. He also has custody wars with Grimes, and I don't really care about all this. Basically, he's been doing a lot of shit. He's been making some sort of harem, moving all of his baby mamas together to raise their children, and it's just a mess. He might be one of the worst people personally as well. He neglects his children, and then he neglects his partners. Well, they're not really partners. He neglects his breeding stock.
Although there's been so many times that, right, I'm getting on a plane to England and I'm never going to see you again.
Really?
No. No, not really. No.
Just more Musk. What do you expect of the richest man in the world? To have morals? No. No, you don't get to be the richest man in the world by having morals. Elon Musk, some call him the greatest con man the world has ever seen. Because so far, his entire professional career has been what seems to be straight out manipulation and lies. He's hyped his companies up to insane valuations. He's built a cult following around himself, as a con man would, and he's become more profitable than anybody humanity's ever seen. The problem with con men in general, when the birds come home to roost, a lot of people are going to get hurt. A lot of his cult followers, a lot of the people that are buying into his cult of personality, his companies, everything are going to get wiped out.
And I decided to start the company. I had no money.
How can somebody become this rich off of so many lies? Anyway, that's my wrap up of Elon Musk. Basically, I'm saying the emperor has no clothes. What you're seeing is a smoke and mirrors hype cycle that's designed to get you to think this guy's a genius.
Elon ignores her, captivated by his spoons.
This guy's more than he actually is. He has a medium-sized car company. He has a space company that's making slightly profit off of government no-bid contracts, and the rest of it's a mess. It's an overvalued mess that's going to damage a lot of people. So stay safe out there. Invest wisely. I guess that's the takeaway here, because it looks like our government has no interest in stopping this. It's going to be a house of cards that keeps stacking up. And if you're buying into it, you're going to get crushed.
There you see it, the world's richest man slapping his right hand to his chest and extending his arm outward.